Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're going to be doing a Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade deck profile, otherwise known as Bird Up. So I'm really excited for this one, guys, because this deck is a really interesting concept to be able to finally use Tri-Brigades in a tier 1 setting that I always knew this deck was actually going to be able to pull off. I just knew it was a matter of time that they were going to get one or two more cards, and then it was finally just going to go off, which is insane because I absolutely love Tri-Brigades. I love the steampunk artwork of the actual deck, and I'm excited that they actually mixed it with something really cool like Lyrilusc to be able to make this deck work. So without further ado, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell near so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description every single video, getting a signed card in the mail, or even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron along with test hands. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Lyrilusc Turquoise Warbler. Turquoise Warbler is really important for the deck because it has the ability to control no monsters. You can special summon this card from your hand, and if this card is special summoned from the hand, you can special summon a Lyrilusc monster from your hand or graveyard, which is helpful for the deck just to be able to get you additional plays out of your hand and get you additional monster, kind of like a Cyber Dragon effect. We then play 2 copies of Cobalt Sparrow. Cobalt Sparrow is pretty good too because it has the ability that if this card is special summoned, you get to add 1 level 1 Wing Beast type monster from your deck to your hand, which works with the Tri-Brigade engine because you can grab Nerval directly from the deck. It also has the ability that a wind monster that uses this card as a material as a XYZ material gains the following effect that your opponent cannot target it with card effects, which is pretty good. We then play a single copy of Sapphire Sparrow. This is very generic and very standard for any build. You're going to be playing pretty much this when you play Lyrilusc in the deck, that if you control a Wing Beast type monster, you can special summon both this and 1 level 1 Wing Beast type monster from your hand, and you can only use the effect of this card once per turn. And a Wind XZ monster that uses this card as a material gains the ability that if it is XZ summoned, you can target Lyrilusc in your graveyard and attach it as a material, which is pretty good for being able to play around with Lyrilusc. So that's pretty much it for the Lyrilusc. Let's get into the Tri-Brigade. So first off with the Tri-Brigade, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Franktail. Franktail is really good because it has the ability you can send this card from your hand or field to the grave to send 1 level 3 or lower Beast Warrior or Wing Beast monster from your deck to the grave. And you can only banish any number of Beast Warrior or Wing Beast monsters from your graveyard to special summon 1 Beast Warrior or Wing Beast Link monster from your extra deck with a link rating equal to or lower to the number of the banished monsters, or equal to the number of banished monsters. Also, you can only use Beast Warrior or Wing Beast monsters as a link summon or link material for the rest of the turn, which is very important for this deck and is very cool that you can basically link summon from the grave by using monsters that have already been used and sent there. We then play 3 copies of the level 2 Tri-Brigade monster. This card is really good too. It lets you discard a card and then you discard one other Beast Warrior or Wing Beast monster to special summon this card from your hand, and also it shares the ability that you can banish any number of Beast Warrior or Wing Beast from your graveyard to special summon one of them from the extra deck that is a link monster that equals the exact rating, which is pretty cool. We then play 3 copies of Nerval. Nerval is probably the most important one next to our copy of Fangtail. This card is really good because it banishes any number of Beast Warrior Wing Beasts in your grave to special summon a Beast Warrior Wing Beast link monster from your extra deck equal to the total number of banished. And also it has the ability that if this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to add any Tri-Brigade monster from your deck to your hand, which is pretty good just to be able to grab out of the deck, and it's just really an overall fantastic card. We then play 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Kit, which is the newest Tri-Brigade, and her ability is that you can banish any number of Beast Warrior Wing Beast monsters in your grave to special summon a Beast Warrior Link or Beast monster from the extra deck with a link rating equal to the total number of banished monsters. And also she has the ability that if this card is sent to the grave, you can send a Tri-Brigade card from your deck to the graveyard to help you kind of build up your graveyard a little bit better to be able to get more link monsters to your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Rescue Cat. Rescue Cat is something that I think is a personal 3 of in this particular build, because when you normal summon it to your side of the field, you can send it from your side of the field to the grave. Special summon 2 level 3 or lower beast type monsters from the deck to your side of the field, which is great just to be able to get you 2 monsters. It's kind of like Rescue Rabbit, just to be able to get those additional plays on your side of the field. And then we play a single copy of Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, because this card basically prevents your opponent from special summoning and you from special summoning anything but wind monsters, but it's easy to summon this card off the Smorg link, which is a fantastic card in this particular deck. And a single copy of Mist Valley Apex Avian, because you can special summon it to your side of the field. Unfortunately, it's not as powerful as it used to be because you can't do the infinite loop anymore because of Union Carrier getting banned, but I kind of saw that coming. Anyways, they were either going to hit Thunderbird or Union Carrier, but it's okay because you can still use the Smorg link to summon out these two and essentially give you a negate or give you a total vanities kind of, I guess his Vanity's Emptiness kind of lock, except for wind monsters. So that's it for the monsters that are not hand traps. Let's get into the hand traps. So for the hand traps, we're going to be playing 2 copies of DD Crow. DD Crow is really good in this deck because DD Crow lets you quick effect discard this card to the graveyard to target a card in your opponent's graveyard and banish it, which is pretty good because it can stop a lot of different decks like Eldritch. You can just pop their card right out the bat, and it works really good in this particular build because you're trying to get Beast, Beast Warrior, and Wing Beasts into the graveyard very quickly. So this card works in 2 great ways for this deck because it's going to banish an important card from your opponent, and it's also going to get you something in the graveyard to be able to use as a material for a Link Summon. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is just going to stop your opponent from all sorts of different shenanigans, which is fantastic. And then 3 copies of Gamma and a single copy of Driver, because a lot of your stuff actually activates in the graveyard, and your opponent can try and stop it, and then you can just Gamma, Psyframe, Omega them, which is really great, just to be able to get this on your side of the field when you activate something that's in the grave and you don't control a monster, which is really cool. So it really can help you out a lot, and especially going into your copy of Psyframe Lord Omega is hilarious because you get to rip an additional card out of their hand. So that's it for the hand traps, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is just a good extender for this particular deck. 1 copy of Foolish Burial. You do need the Foolish Burial as a 1-up because it's kind of like playing a 7 copy of Fangtail, because when you use this card with Fangtail, you're going to be able to have, essentially with Tinky and this and the 3 copies, you have 7 copies in the deck that you can get to graveyard extremely quickly, which is great. We play a single copy of 1-for-1 because you're going to use the 1-for-1 to be able to send from your deck to the, or special summon from your deck to your side of the field, a copy of Nerval or any of your Lyrilusc monsters instantly to your field. 1 copy of Call by the Grave because it just stops your opponent's hand traps, which is great. You have this and you have the Gamma package, so you have plenty of different plays in this particular deck to go off with. I play a single copy of Rendezvous. This card is really good because the Rendezvous lets you target any number of linked Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monsters you control, and they gain 7 attack until the end of the turn. And if a linked Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you manage to discard from your grave instead, which is pretty good, just to be able to give you that extra boost and be able to banish it to protect them, which is really cool. And then I play 3 copies of Fire Formation Tinky, which searches our copies of Fangtail, which is great, just to be able to grab Fangtail out of the deck. And the cool thing is when you normal summon the Fangtail, Fangtail's at 1900, so you can normal summon a Fangtail at 2000, which is kind of pretty good, actually. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps, which we only play 1 trap in the entire deck, which is a single copy of Tri-Brigade Oath. I like Oath in my build because Oath lets you target any 1 link monster you control, and special summon a Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast monster with a different type from your hand or graveyard. And if you control at least 1 each of a Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monster, you manage this card from your grave to target 1 face-up spell trap your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of the turn. It's not super hard to actually get that effect off in this deck because you can get those monsters on the field really easily, but it's an overall fantastic card in this particular build. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Ominous Omen, which is pretty much your boss monster outside of AA Zeus. But what this card does is, if this card is special summoned, or if another Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast monster is special summoned to your field, then you can banish 1 card on the field. It does not target, it just immediately banishes it. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to add 1 Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monster from your deck to your hand, whose level is less than or equal to the number of banished Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monsters, which is a really good effect to be able to grab another card. We play a single copy of Silver Sheller. Silver Sheller doesn't come up that much because it has the ability. Its ability is not the greatest, to be honest with you guys, because what it does is during your opponent's main phase quick effect, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast monster from your hand or grave, but negate its effects, and also return to the hand during the end phase. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can make all monster your opponent currently control lose 3 in our attack and events for each monster type you control, which is okay. It's only going to maximally get about 900 that they're going to lose, and it's just an alright card overall. We're then going to be playing 3 copies of Barren Blossom. Barren Blossom is fantastic in this deck because she has the ability that during the main phase, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon. Also, you cannot use monsters as link material for the rest of the turn, except for, of course, Beast, Warrior, Wing Beast monsters. And if this card is sent to the grave, you get to draw a card and then place one card from your hand on the bottom of your deck, which is really good just to be able to get you additional plays. Play a single copy of Access Code, because Access Code can get us a bunch of pops in this deck, because we have a bunch of different typing in this deck, which is really good. We play everything from Wind, Earth, Dark, all those different attributes, which is really good. One copy of Appaloosa, because Appaloosa can get on the field really easily in this deck. One copy of the Smorg Link, because it can get your copies of your 2 monsters that we're going to be summoning. Normally is the Apex Avian or the Barrier Statue of Stormwinds. One copy of Harpy Conductor. It's pretty good in the deck too, because if another face-up Harpy monster you control returns to the hand, or excuse me, if a face-up monster or Harpy monster you control will be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can control one spell or trap you control instead, which is pretty good because it can kind of protect itself. It's an overall okay card because you can link climb with it, and it does require 2 wind monsters, so it's pretty easy to go into. You play the same copy of Ancient Warrior's Oath, Double Dragon Lords. This card is really good too, because if all monsters, you have to use 2 Beast Warrior monsters, including a wind attribute Ancient Warrior, but you can kind of get it out anyways with your other like Tri-Brigades in the graveyard, because it just kind of gets it out by an effect. But it also has the ability to all Ancient Warrior monsters you control gain 500 attack, and you only effect the following effect of this card once per turn. And if this card is link summoned, you get to add 1 Ancient Warrior card from your deck to your hand, and then quick effect, you can send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard, target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, and you return to the hand, which is a really good effect just to be able to bounce stuff. 1 copy of Link Rebo, because you can go into this card really easily because you play a lot of level 1s. 1 copy of Double A Zeus, which you can make on top of your Assembled Nightingale. Assembled Nightingale is fantastic because it gains 200 attack for each material on it. It can attack your opponent directly, and when this card has XZ materials, it can attack up to the number of amount of XZ materials on it, and then once per turn, during the player's turn, you can detach a material from this card, and then Lyrilusc monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and also you take no battle damage for attacks involving them, which is great. 1 copy of Starling. Starling is really good too. She has the ability that if this card is XZ summoned, you can target 1 face-up card on the field, and it gains 300 attack for each material that's attached to this card, and then once per turn, you can detach a material from this card to add 1 level 1 Wing Beast monster from your deck to your hand, and all battle damage you take from battles involving Z monsters is also inflicted to your opponent, which is pretty good. And then we play a single copy of Psyframe Lord Omega because we play the Gamma package. So it's really, really good to be able to play Omega because you can rip cards out of your opponent's hand. So that's pretty much it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a really cool deck to play with. I highly recommend, if you guys have not picked up Bird Up, you should definitely do it. Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade is really fun. I don't know how budget it is now. I was picking up Ominous Omens when they were like $5 each, and Barren Blossoms when they were like $3. So I have no idea how much that card is now, to be perfectly honest with you guys. But it's still a pretty fun deck to play with, and I think it's going to be a really good meta contender to be able to go into this format. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell on there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.